You should be used to this by now. Each week, we like to break down stories from the three levels of government with CTV's political commentator, Scott Reid, and he joins us once again in the studio.
Hey, guys.
Scott, great to see you.
Good to see you.
Good to talk. So let's start at the municipal level. There's a municipal-federal overlap, of course, to this. Of course, this is, the federal government, Liberals came charging into Olivia Chow's rescue last week. It seemed like a very coordinated effort. So why, and what's the federal government's plan here?
So, I apologize to everybody, but we are doing a deep dive political segment here, and I'm fascinated about how this unrolled and what it might mean. So here are the clues, my friends who are detectives. First, Freeland and the mayor meet together.
Right.
Then, on the eve of the mayor's budget coming down, literally like hours before, the feds say, big cash coming, right? 2 days later, they all hold a press conference together, all the federal MPs, including some of them who had been crying the blues about Olivia Chow being so mean and attacking the federal government. They all hold one big love-in news conference. And so I'm asking myself, why would the federal government do that? Why did they feel that they needed to politically rescue the mayor? Why did they? And one answer is, well, they're scared. They're behind in the polls, and they're terrified, and they figure, like, just give her what she wants. But then the question is, well, then isn't she going to want something else next time? This is for refugee. When next time we're going to want housing? On and on and on it goes. The other thing that occurs to me, and I want to watch for this, and this going forward, I'm going to keep my eye on this spot. Are the Liberals hoping to strike an effectively a détente partnership with the NDP mayor of Toronto? Do they want to try to shove the NDP out of the 416, or at least keep them at bay by doing this and working as often as they can and forcing these moments of kumbaya with Chow so that it sort of just keeps the NDP down? My guess is that maybe is part of their strategy, but ultimately, in a federal election, Chow's going to come out, she's going to put on the NDP sweater, and she's going to campaign hard for the New Democrats. That's politics. That's going to. So I'll be interested to watch this partnership. My suspicion is it's going to cost the Liberals a lot of cash, but it'll be doomed to fail politically.
But also, it was about $90 million short of this $250 million number that we've been seeing here. And all of a sudden, it's still just a 9% tax increase.
Whatever, rounding numbers, right? It's all politics, man. We were just, when I said I wanted this much, I meant I want that, a little bit less than that, whatever, So, yeah, we're going to go back and forth. So it guarantees that the mayor is going to come knocking on the federal door for more cash.
Okay.
Okay, let's turn to some provincial politics now. Premier Doug Ford really used his weekend policy convention to kind of emphasize, leadership and target Bonnie Crombie, leader of the Ontario Liberal Party. So why do you think he did this?
Well, this is, again, something I'm going to keep my eye on, and it actually brings up the NDP again. Doug Ford spends his whole speech hammering away on Bonnie Crombie, talking about the theme of leadership. Leadership matters, folks. Who you pick to run your government matters. So you can hear that theme. That's all deliberate. That's all a conscious choice. And I guess I just start to ask myself the question, how come? Obviously, and when you talk to conservatives around Doug Ford, what they will tell you is they know that the Liberal brand has more takeoff potential than the NDP brand, province-wide. And so their fear is if they're going to get beat, it's more likely they get beat by the Liberals, notwithstanding how low in the polls they look and how small the caucus is and all of that. So they want to try and stop them before they get started. Makes some sense. I think it does leave the question open. Are they looking past and looking over Marit Stiles? I think she's a pretty capable politician. I think she's a more centrist New Democrat. Sure, she's from, downtown Toronto, but I think it's going to be interesting to watch. We are now in the pitched primary, as they call it, between the Liberals and the NDP in Ontario to determine who gets to be the #1 rival of Doug Ford. It's going to be super interesting to watch. And in a weird way, I wonder if the Conservatives are almost promoting Bonnie Crombie by giving her so much attention, even if it's driven by fear.
Okay, let's talk quickly federal level. We're a bit short on time, Scott, but Pierre Poilievre was in town yesterday ahead of the summit in Ottawa about auto theft coming up on Thursday. He was there talking tough about his crime agenda. What's he doing?
So he says, 3 convictions for car theft, 3 years. 3. This is the solution. Okay. I've had my car stolen 3 times, as it so happens. I can stay with his little numerical formula, but this is bunk, right? Like it isn't. It's playing hard to what's on people's minds in the GTA. Smart politics are not going to take that away from them. But this sloganeering thing, like, well, you know what? 3 cars stolen, 3 years in prison, boom, that's a solution. I don't think anybody in the whole wide world really thinks that's actually how it's going to be fixed. And by the way, like, these guys, are they getting caught 3 times? I think the problem is they're not getting caught, right?
Yeah, that seems to be the epidemic situation we're facing, yeah.
It just feels a little like junk politics to me.
Yeah. Okay.
Bumper sticker politics for auto theft. Get it?
Yeah, but you won't see your
I'll leave you on that high
You won't
note.
see your bumper.
All right,
Yeah.
CTV's political commentator, Scott Reid, always appreciate your analysis. We'll chat again soon.